Hey, welcome to the On Fire Show. This is your host, Daryl McKell Brooks. I'm wearing a rating from Mr. Strange, Charles Strange of the Michael Strange Foundation. Waiting for him to log on. You are invited. That sounds a lot better. Yes, I am excited. I have Mr. Charles Strange. Come on. You're invited to the On Fire Show. Hey, how are you doing? Waiting to add you on and make sure you have your phone landscape. I believe that Mr. Charles Strange had a problem with his phone. You got to have it landscape. So for those who are watching, this is Daryl McKell Brooks. I am waiting for, you've been approved, Mr. Charles Strange, to come on. You got to have the phone landscape style. So I am excited. Hello out there. Hey, Jay, hope you're watching. All y'all watching, having a good time. For those who are watching, hey, Thomas, we're just having some technical difficulties. We're not giving up. We never give up. You got to have your phone. Make sure you have your phone. Hey, Jeff. Landscape style. So make sure it's sideways. We're waiting for Mr. Charles Strange. Okay, something is wrong. Always Facebook. Always Facebook. Yeah, that's right. Hang in there. I'm trying to, I'm one of these guys. I got to hang in there. All right, I am hanging in there. I'm waiting for Mr. Charles Strange to come on. Hey, Mr. Strange, are you there? I'm adding you on. Make sure your phone is landscape and sideways so I can, Matthew. Hey, Matthew. Hey. Thank you. Thanks for all for watching. We're having a little technical difficulties, but we're going to hang in there. All right, we're talking about the Michael Strange Foundation, and his father is Mr. Charles Strange, and we're definitely going to talk about some of the things that they're doing. We're going to talk about Michael Strange, what he's all about, and so, hey, I am excited. We're just having these, hey, from Kentucky. You have to have it sideways, like sideways, so I can invite you on. Yes, just like that. Okay, thank you. Like not like that, but that way. So, all right. Yeah, we're gonna put you. All right, Mary Strange. Yeah, all right. We're gonna add you on. We're gonna bring you onto the camera. Make sure it's sideways. Say something. All right. Make sure it's landscape. I'm adding you, and I am waiting, and I'm excited to have you on. People are watching and ready and riled up to have Mr. Charles Strange on. I'm adding you on. Are you there? Come log on. And his wife is with him, Mary Ann Strange. So we're having a family affair tonight. And Charles and Michael and Mary Ann Strange. Okay, something is definitely wrong. And so it's one of these technical difficulties. And so, for those who are watching, I'm Daryl McKell Brooks of the On Fire Show. And hey, Brenda, hey, Marianne Strange, we're trying to make sure you have a landscape. We're going to get this right. We're definitely going to get this right. And he has everybody should have an iPhone. Okay, it won't landscape. We're going to try it one more time. Boom. All right, I'm gonna add you on. I'm adding you on. It won't landscape. Yeah. Hello. I'm excited. Hey, Arthur. How you doing? I'm excited. I'm fine. Hey, Brenda. I'm excited, and we're gonna have some powerful individuals on that are doing some great things all across the country. And so I'm waiting for Charles Strange. Listen, I'll be right back. I got to call Michael, Mr. Charles Strange, and Mary Ann Strange, and we try to get their phone right. I'm trying to add them on, but we're going to get this thing done. We're going to get this thing done. We're going to get this thing done. All right? Okay. Oh, there you go.
Hey. After a little bit of time, I got it. Sorry.
You got it?
Wow.
I know this is Mr. Charles Strange, everybody. He's the father of Michael Strange, and that's Marianne Strange. Hey, usually it's the doctors and the scientists that have the hardest problem coming onto the show. Technical difficulty. So we're going to get right into it. I thank you for coming on to the show. It's a pleasure, and the people for watching. I told a lot of people you were coming on. Um, I met you. We were at the pizza place. Was it 2 weeks ago? We had a nice pizza, talking about politics in the state of Pennsylvania, around the country, and some of the things that we would like to see done in the state of Pennsylvania. And so there were some individuals told me that's Mr. Charles Strange, and I was like, okay, who's Charles Strange? He's Michael Strange. Father, and okay, so the Michael Strange Foundation. He was SEAL Team 6. His son was SEAL Team 6, the one that got they went in and got Osama bin Laden. So that was, I was so excited to hear that, and and the story of your son. So you're the head of the Voices for Silent Heroes, Michael Strange Foundation. Tell us about your son first. We grew up in. And how he decided to go to the Navy. Go ahead.
Thank you, Daryl. Sorry for the delay there. We're down in Wildwood, New Jersey here. Michael, we grew up in Mayfair section of Philadelphia. He played for the Mayfair Shamrocks. He played for Wissinoming football. He went to St. Bart's grade school and Lawton Public School, and then he went on to North Catholic. He worked at Burnsy's Bar at Richmond and Westmoreland, 10th, 11th grade. He delivered newspapers. He was always a hustler. He joined the gym. He was my oldest of 4. He has a brother named Chaz, sister named Caitlin, Carly, and Michael was the big brother everybody wanted. He was special. 2004, he was graduating North Catholic, and he said, "Dad, I'm joining the military." And I said, "Michael, you're not joining the military. There's a war going on." And he turned 18. He said, "Dad, I joined the Navy." So I gave him a that a boy, and they came and picked him up in July 2004, and he graduated boot camp and out in Chicago. I flew out to Chicago, watched him graduate boot camp, and he really excelled through the Navy.
Mm-hmm.
They sent him from boot camp down to Pensacola, Florida. He took a test. He finished first in his test for cryptology, code breaking.
Wow.
Yeah. We knew Michael was smart. We didn't know he was that smart.
Uh-huh.
And, so he calls me up and he says, "Dad, they lied to me." I said, "They lied to you?" He said, "If whoever finishes first, you get to choose to go wherever you want to go." Mm-hmm. So he wanted to go to Virginia so he could come on the weekends and, see his dad and brother and his friends and his sisters. And I said, "Well, where are they sending you?" He said, "They're sending me to Hawaii." I said, "Michael, you're going to Hawaii, man." And the second day in Hawaii, he calls me up. He says, "Yo, Dad, I love Hawaii." And he was stationed there for a little over 2 years. He was assigned with SEAL Team 2. He was with Admiral McCraven from the guy that planned the Bin Laden raid. He really started to excel with the crypto and the code breaking, and his third year into the Navy, they gave him a big signing offer to join the elite SEAL Team 6.
Mm-hmm. Now, what was it like after he told you he was joining SEAL Team 6? How did you feel as a father, and that you know about the SEAL Team 6?
Well, we didn't really know much, I knew they were the badass of the badasses. I knew he had to buy a house in Virginia Beach by their secret base down there. He had to be within 15 minutes of where Little Creek is down in Virginia Beach. It used to be secret. Nobody ever heard of SEAL Team 6 until they killed Bin Laden, right? Nobody ever heard of SEAL Team 6. And we can thank Joe Biden for that. After they killed Bin Laden, Joe Biden at the Ritz-Carlton in Delaware, May 3rd, 2011. What he was drunk. SEAL Team 6, SEAL Team 6. And then all of a sudden. But anyway, he calls me up. He said, Dad, I don't want to do 20, 30 years in the Navy. He was thinking of doing 8, maybe 10 years. And I said, well, look, I thought you were just going to do the 4 and get out, And he's like, no, this is really, And he ended up buying a home in Virginia Beach down there, and we would go down and see him, and he'd come back and forth, and he just started to take off, excel. He was put with SEAL Team 6, the Gold Squad. His call sign was GY4, Gold Yankee 4.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see myself, under the Obama administration, all of a sudden, all our special op groups, the Rangers, the Green Berets, were doing 7, 8 missions a year,
Mm-hmm.
Instead of rotating. And I believe it was starting to take a toll on my son. And but he loved it. He was like, it's just like they say, the brotherhood down there with the friends and the camaraderie. I mean, you're over there doing the ungodly things that people see in movies, but they're doing it for real. So he was starting to change. He was, I could see it when he got home. A couple of his friends were killed, and so that was, he loved the Navy. He loved his family. He loved his country.
Mm-hmm.
And so he came home. He called me in April of 2011.
Okay.
And he said, Dad, everything's getting shut down for 2 weeks. I said, what? And he said, everything's getting shut down for 2 weeks. You're not going to hear from me. And he never did nothing like that. And I tried getting it out of him. I'm like, what's going on? Da-da-da-da-da. And he said, we had a code, me and Michael, and the code was, did the Phillies win? That means it could be January. And when he said, did the Phillies win? That means, Dad, don't ask any more questions.
Mm-hmm.
Because they gave him a lie detector test, Daryl. Every 2 months, they gave him a lie detector test.
Okay.
And the lie detector test was, the first question was, when was the last time you lied? A loaded question. So anyway, we're talking in April of 2011. He says, everything's going down. I said, come on, Mike, tell me. And he said, well, if something happens, you're going to hear about it. And of course, May 2nd, 2011, they killed Osama bin Laden. He comes home in June. It's his birthday. He's 25 years old. And he grabs me by the bicep. It's the first time he ever grabs me by the bicep and says, Dad, I got a will. I said, what are you talking about? He said, I got a will. I said, why are you talking about a will? And he was referenced Joe Biden and the Obama administration putting it out that it was SEAL Team 6.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, our Secretary of Defense at that time was Robert Gates.
Yeah, Robert Gates. Yeah.
He said, yo, what are you doing? You never hear it was the Rangers that killed this guy. The Green Beret guys killed this guy. You never heard that. It was our military. So he grabbed me. He grabbed his brother. He grabbed his friends. He grabbed Mary. He went to my sister's house talking about this will. And this is June 2011. He calls me up. He left a little bit early, too. He never left home early to go back to Virginia Beach. I mean, something was really going on here. And he calls me up from the airport. He's going back over to Afghanistan. And he said, yo, Dad, I love you. I'll see you for Thanksgiving at Aunt Maggie's house in Fishtown. And I'm like, all right. And the next time I heard was August 6th, 2011. 4 men told us about our son being killed.
Yeah, I'm so sad for your loss. And so was he? I assume he was prepared for that loss. And what was it like? I mean, let's talk about something during the Osama bin Laden raid. What was it like for you to have your son a part of that historical raid?
We didn't know about it until afterwards.
Uh-huh.
A lot afterwards. Actually, some guys told us if we knew, but we didn't know, and even if I did know, you're not allowed to say anything.
Yeah.
But now it's been 8 years, and there's books and movies, and everybody talking about SEAL Team 6, and so his name's in front of the Twin Towers. He's in a few books, in a few documentaries. Very honorable, very honorable. Dad, don't get it twisted. I'm very proud of my son to be part of that. Killing the biggest terrorist we ever had in the world, and but for the loss, it's every day. It's every day I miss my son. Someday you walk with a limp the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
You're not supposed to bury your children.
Yeah, children supposed to bury you.
Right.
Yeah, I'm looking at the website. For those who are watching, this is Mr. Charles Strange. His son was Michael Strange, Navy SEAL Team 6. And I'm looking on these great honors of your son: Bronze Star, Presidential Letter, NSA Memorial Wall, Purple Heart, Shadow Box presented to the family. All these different awards, and this had to be for you as a father, and your son is an American hero, and it's just like to win the Bronze Star, the Purple Heart, these different awards. It must have excited you that your son is a part of greatness, and he will be everlasting a part of something great, and accomplishing something that only few have ever accomplished.
Thank you, Daryl. Thank you. Well, and the one medal we don't have up in there is called the National Intelligence Medal of Valor.
Oh,
Only
okay.
17 ever been given out in the history of America since WW2 and the Windtalkers.
Mm-hmm.
They gave us that at the NSA, 5 floors underground with Admiral Alexander.
Okay.
And 200, great honor, great, he was unbelievable. Some of the things he could do, he could pick up the sounds of, a stream in Iraq, Afghanistan, Africa, or a motorcycle. He could tell by listening with the listening devices where the Taliban, Al Qaeda was, and and he learned that little bit of Arabic on it, to pick up what was going on with the cells over there, and it was great honor what he did, and I'm very proud of him. I mean,
yeah,
it's like you said, one of many American heroes, though, and so it's I know I'll see him again.
Yeah, yes, definitely, you will see him again. Lighter note, you talked about how you were surprised your son was so smart. When he told you that he's going into the Navy SEAL, and I think it was in cryptology, and what was you thinking? Like, oh, like what?
Yeah,
yeah. What was you
from
thinking?
working at Richmond and Westmoreland, where Richmond and Allegheny is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Burnsies Bar, Richmond and Westmoreland, the next bar up, right in the hood of Philadelphia. Being the crab guy, and he sort of laid back on his grades in school, even though we would go through the battles with how kids are, and to excel. He really, the military. Let me tell you something. If you're struggling or there ain't a job out there or something like that, you get the 4 years for a government job, the police force, the state troopers, the FBI. It helps you out with the credits and everything else if you do 4 years serving your country, which I think now, Israel, they do. You got to do 2 years. You got to serve the military.
Yeah, mandatory 2 years.
Right. It's better than going to the corner and selling drugs. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Yes, definitely. So let's talk about the Michael Strange the Foundation, the Voices of Silent Heroes. Tell us about that.
So after we had the viewing at the Cathedral in Philadelphia, Probably close to 2,000 people walked through. The military was huge. His friends, family. They had snipers on the roofs. We were getting threats by the Taliban.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
then we buried him in Arlington with 17 of the 30 men my son died with. 17 of the 30 men were buried in Arlington. But after that, Daryl, everybody else goes back to work, goes to vacation, goes to the gym, goes to the park, And I was working at Sugar House Casino at the time. I was a dealer, and I went to work 3 months after it happened. I couldn't make a full week. I kept breaking down crying. A young guy would stand next to me. Oh, aren't you Mr. Strange? Hey, I'm getting married. You hear people talking. My son didn't have a chance to get married, and that Grim Reaper would come in. And I went to a therapist. I actually went to, it was called Military Source One, Daryl.
Mm-hmm.
I said, oh, these guys are going to help me. I went right over to Tony Carmile Bridge in New Jersey, 5 minutes over the bridge, Military Source One. I get there, the lady, very nice. She was a very nice lady. I said, are you in the military? She said, no. I said, your husband, your son, your cousin? No. I said, you ever deal with somebody that buried a child? She said, no. She said, I'm Military Source One because I fell under the blanket, under the insurance. And that's why we were called Military Source One. Like the next people coming in there, they were there for marriage counseling. Mm-hmm. So she was nice, but she wasn't helpful. So a little bit after that, I met another Gold Star dad from Pennsylvania, a guy by the name of Grant Smith. His son was Tristan Smith, died 3 years prior. They're from Bryn Athyn, Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. I called this dad up, and we met for coffee, and he was crying. He was mad. He was angry. He was sad. And I felt good meeting him. I said, wow, I'm not the only one here. And I said, let's start bringing some more parents in. Let's do a weekend. I want to meet these other parents. How do you keep going on? Your son's not here. Mm-hmm. And that's how we started the Michael Strange Foundation. Me and my wife, Mary Ann, we went to Malvern Retreat House for the first one. Then we went to Wildwood, New Jersey, where we're at now, and Ocean City, Maryland, Washington, D.C., Lenox, Massachusetts, Boulder, Colorado. We've done 9 weekend workshops. We bring the parents in, the brothers and sisters, if they're over 18, and we ask them to write a letter. Maybe you forgot to tell your son or daughter something. Maybe you want to tell them about their brother getting married. And we also go over the 5 stages of grief. Mm-hmm. We have a paid grief counselor there, but we get the parents to talk. And we put the picture in the chair in front of the parents when they read the letter. Mm. And then my wife, she makes some reefs if we're near the ocean. You throw, let go, let God, the reefs, or we let go of the balloons. But we meet each other, and through the Michael Strange Foundation, we pay for the hotel, the food, the plane tickets, because they already paid the ultimate price for our freedoms.
Yes.
And President Trump heard about us. Invited us down to the White House, asked us to bring 10 other Gold Star families down there. And
so what was that like, to meet the President of the United States?
There's nobody like President Trump. He was great.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I met President Obama in Dover in August 2011. All the bodies were coming in. President Obama came up to me and grabbed me by the shoulders. He said, Michael changed the way America lived. I grabbed President Obama by the shoulders. I said, I don't need to know about my son. I need to know what happened. And I shook President Obama like a bobblehead. And then the Secret Service guys sort of like tackled me.
Oh.
They didn't tackle me right away. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
So then I was bent over crying, and President and Obama came over to me again, and he went to give me a hug, and I whispered in his ear, "Is there going to be a congressional hearing?" 30 guys died, Daryl.
Yeah.
30 guys. Plus there was 8 Afghans, 38. And he whispered in my ear, President Obama, we're going to look into this very, very, very deep. And so the difference is. I never heard a word, and that was August 2011. Me and my wife went down there with 22 of the parents. We had Alan West speak for us, General Boykin, Navy SEALs. We were at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C. And
Nothing.
fake news didn't pick it up. Nothing.
35 times we were there.
Nothing.
So you basically and other parents have no idea what happened, what was the incident, why, nothing. They tell you nothing what happened.
No. Well, I'll tell you what, Daryl, October 2011, we went down to Little Creek. This guy named Brigadier General Jeffrey Colt did the investigation on 38 guys over in Afghanistan in 2 weeks. So all 60 parents are down in Virginia. He's telling us what happened, he says the RPG, it was a shot in the pitch dark, 100 yards. It was a lucky shot. I stood up. I said, did he just say lucky shot? Are you crazy? All our sons are dead. And they, a lot of other questions. What happened to the black box, which is really orange? Jeffrey Colton raised his hands and said, a flash flood came and washed it away. And then they told us there is no black box on the Chinook. There hasn't been a flash flood in Afghanistan since Noah had an ark. You know what I mean, Daryl?
Yeah.
So at the end, they gave us a booklet, and you don't look at it because you're just hearing about how your son died. And we get home, I open up the booklet, and there's 25 pages, but you can't read them. There's no ink. There's no ink in the printer. So I call them up. I complain. Admiral Sean Pipe said, oh, we had a lot of complaints about that, Charlie. I said, okay, send me another one. He said, we can't. We burned it. I said, you burned it? You burned the report already? But inside there was a disc. And on this disc, all these little blocks popped up. And my wife figured out how to download the disc with 1,364 pages.
Wow.
Yeah. It exposed everything. Talked about how the Taliban were under the trees. There was like 28 to 30 Taliban under the trees with night vision goggles, RPGs, motorcycles, machine guns, walkie-talkies, cell phones. They knew there were some Talibans up on the roof, and so who called to put this Chinook helicopter in the Tanzine Valley, which was a hot spot for the Taliban? So there's a girl named Joni Marquez. She's been on television 8-10 times, Fox News and Hannity. She was in a C-130 above. She asked to open up fire 8 times, Daryl, because she's seen them. She's seen the Taliban. And she got denied because of the rules of engagement under the Obama administration.
It's such a disgrace. I am, it's a disgrace. I know people are watching. So,
so these 1,364 pages were, eye-openers, like so many other questions. And then with this girl, Joni Marquez, speaking out, she was there. She's seen it all.
Yeah.
My son jumped out of the helicopter, Daryl. And they told us that when the RPG hit the helicopter, it blew up the fuselage. And then the fire was so bad that my son was cremated. Everybody was cremated. In the newspaper, it said 38 skulls, 38 C-spines. All over the world. That's what it said in the newspaper. I called Dover up 4 months after that. They sent me the autopsy report and the disc. And my wife, Michael's stepmom, she looks at the disc. She didn't want me to look. And I said to her, how bad is it? She goes, well. I said, what do you mean, well? My son wasn't burned at all, Daryl.
It was a lie?
It was a lie.
You could see the hair on his arms.
You could see the hair on his arms. That's how clear it was. And you see him perfect. So then I called up the command. I said, why'd you cremate my son? They said, well, because of the fire. I said, I got pictures of him. He wasn't burned at all. They said, where'd you get that? So there's a lot, extortion 17. If your followers could Google extortion 17.
Extortion 17.
That was the name of the helicopter. And, You know, with my wife downloading that disc, the NSA tapped our phone and our computer. We were the first ones in the history of America to win a national case against the NSA with Judge Leon. He called it a Orwellian state.
So they tapped your phone. NSA tapped your phone. This is during the Obama administration, right?
Yes.
Right. Wow. I mean, we're all Americans, and
Right.
you're trying to. I mean, it's to the point that you're an American. You're trying to figure out what's happened to your son, and then you have the NSA tapping your phone, and God knows what else they was trying to get involved in your life. I mean, it's sad, and people should understand. We're all Americans, but there's a darker side to what's happening. The darker side of the military and certain parts of politicians like Obama and Biden. God knows we don't need Biden as president. So so how did the Trump presidency? How did he treat you? Did you get anything out of him? How did it make you feel? Did you talk? I mean, what was he like when you told him? I'm sure you had some type of discussion with him.
Yes, we had 15 minutes alone with him and the First Lady, me and my wife. This was June 5th, 2017. And when we went in to see him, I said, Mr. President, my son got killed in a 1960 helicopter with 29 other Americans. He goes, you seen what I did about that? I just signed a bill, $500 million, get some new damn helicopters. Just like that, Daryl. And then I said, Mr. President, I'm a little bit nervous talking to you. Can I pull out my notes? I had some notes from the 1,300 pages. And he looked at the Secret Service guy. He goes, sure. I pull out the notes. I start reading. He said, let me see that. And he looks at him, and he read them for like 3 or 4 minutes, flips the pages, looks at me. He's reading it again. He said, can I keep these? I said, yes, Mr. President. Steps over to a Secret Service guy. Make sure I get Mr. Strange's notes tonight. November 2011, Department of Justice gives us a call, gives us an email. We're going to do an investigation on Extortion 17. And then President Trump invited us back for Christmas dinner. We were the only Gold Star families back. And he was awesome. The Marine that works in the White House, he recognized us. He said, you getting your Christmas picture with the president? I said, look at the line. He said, you don't wait in line. You're a Gold Star. Takes us up to President Trump, me and my wife. So this was from June 5th, December 14th. Walk up to President Trump. He goes, Gold Star, Strange, Pennsylvania. So I asked him about the investigation. He said, boom. We called the DOJ. There's still so many Obama people still in the administration. When you call the phone and ask about Extortion 17, they whisper, we're looking into it. And then they hang up. So I just met we were just down in Arlington this past weekend. We just met some pretty important people. Actually met one of the president's lawyers. And we have to send him some notes next week. He's going to take a look at it. Nothing will bring our sons back, but there should never, ever.
You need truth. Yeah, you need truth. You need truth. And it's truth is everything. And how your son died and how the other soldiers died. People need to know the truth, and so they can have closure. And I'm sure that's all you want. You want closure. You want to know basically what happened, and other parents want to know basically what happened. And like I said, your son is a great American and a hero, and the rest of the ones that died and are heroes to America. And I tell people that if you're going to join the Navy SEALs, Navy and the military, take a look at what your son has done and other ones have done, to make America strong and protect America, and that's what it's all about. Your son died for something he believed in, and he believed in America, and and so you're fighting right now. You're in the Michael Strange Foundation and your organization and individuals, the party, are fighting for America. You're fighting to get the truth out, but you're making sure that fathers who have been in your situation, who have lost children in war, you're bringing them together, and you're making them, you're praying together, you're talking together, you're getting counselors, which is, which is needed. Fathers, fathers and, moms that have lost their children in battle, they need that counseling. They need that support base. And, it's a shame that you went through so much. It's a shame that you had to struggle to get information when the information should have been right there for you to have.
Yep.
And is your wife there? I would like to say hi to her, introduce her,
Sure.
to Mary Ann Strange. Hello, Mary.
Yeah.
Are you there?
Hi, Daryl. Yeah.
How you doing? How you doing?
Doing
So,
all right.
all right. So tell us about Charles and what he's gone through and the path that he's taken.
Well, my husband, he's a strong man. And, in the beginning, to watch him go through what he had to go through, and it was just brutal.
Mm-hmm.
He, like he said, you would walk into a Dunkin' Donuts perfectly fine, and then all of a sudden just burst out crying. When I would, a couple months after after Michael had passed, I went back to work, and I would come home at lunch, and Charlie was supposed to have gone to work, and I would go, and he would be sitting on the sofa, and I'd come home at lunch and he'd still be in the same spot. And I'm like, what are you doing? He said, I can't get out the door, Mare. I can't leave. And, it was just brutal. So when he met Grant Smith, the other Gold Star father, it helped him tremendously. He came home, he's like, Mare, he's just like me. He's angry and he's crying. And, when we started the Michael Strange Foundation, a lot of times, Daryl, there's a lot out there for Gold Star moms, but when it comes to Gold Star fathers, there's not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, we went to Arlington, and I had a plate done for the front, like a vanity plate kind of for the front of Charlie's car.
Yeah.
It says Gold Star Dad of Petty Officer First Class Michael J. Strange. And one of the guards at Arlington turned around and said, oh, I never heard of a Gold Star Dad. He's like, well, we did have something to do with making them,
Mm-hmm.
And so it's to bring the parents through, and it's part of the healing process for us as well. And Charlie puts one foot in front of the other, every day, and he's a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's just, this just should have never happened.
Yes.
None of this should have ever happened.
Yes.
A lot of questions, more questions than there are answers.
And that's what we need, more answers, because to make things right, to make things better. To be able to wake up in the morning and say, well done, son, well done, President, thank you for the information you provided. Truth is finally, I can sleep better at night to find out the truth, and I'm sure a lot of parents who've been in the Charles Strange situation are sitting right home still waiting to find out the truth.
Yeah.
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 Yes.
Absolutely.
And I just want to say for those who are watching and who will be watching, please pray for the Strange family, Charles and Mary Strange, and pray and support them. We're going to put the website up, and so because there's a donation button, right, that people can donate to the website. And I have to go to one of your events that you're going to have and be there and maybe interview some people. But it's important that you support the Voice for Silent Heroes, the Michael Strange Foundation. What's next for the Michael Strange Foundation?
Event-wise?
November 2nd.
November 2nd.
Rob O'Neill, the man that shot bin Laden, is coming to speak at the Drexel Brook Entertainment Center in Media, Pennsylvania, November 2nd. You can buy tickets on BidPal. Carriage.
A gallon of carriage.
Gallon of carriage. Bid pal, gallon of carriage. $100. You get a 3-course meal, 2 drinks. You hear Rob O'Neill, Drago, another famous Navy SEAL, and a lot of Iraq and Afghan vets.
Okay.
We'll have an auctioneer table, and it helps the Gold Star families pay for the hotel and the plane tickets to bring more parents in for healing. We really need some support, and it's a great night out. We teamed up with Operation First Response, who's a #1 501c3 foundation, and we could use the support. Rich Zioli from 1210 AM Radio is going to be our MC. He's donating his time, and so check us out. I have it up on Facebook, Michael Strange Facebook. If you'd like to buy a T-shirt, SEAL Team 6, MichaelStrangeFoundation.org.
Definitely. I'm going to put the website on the link so people can give and check out the website. We got to do some type of cigar event. All of us smoking cigars, having a nice time. That's a great fundraiser. Well, listen, I just want to thank you for coming on. God bless. I am praying for you. We're going to put this website up, and I got to have you on again. And I'm gonna have to come down here and sit with you and talk. But listen, we're praying for you, and people out there need to know about the Michael Strange Foundation, the Voices of Silent Heroes. People need to know what you're doing for your country as a father, as a gold father, and what your wife is doing, Mary Ann Strange. So I thank you all for being heroes. You're my heroes. Your son is a hero. And you're heroes to fathers out there and mothers out there that struggle all the time, dealing with the problems that they've had, the death of their sons and daughters.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having us on, Daryl.
Thank you so much, Daryl.
Definitely. It's going. We're going to send this all over so people can come in and donate and support. God bless you all. I am praying for you, and we're going to pray for you tonight. Let's pray for him tonight. Before y'all go to bed, pray for the family, pray for the heroes, pray for the people who are part of the Michael Strange Foundation. Pray for the Gold Star fathers that have lost their children, and the mothers who have lost their children too. So I thank you for coming on. God bless. And I will talk to you sometime in the next couple of days. We're going to set up some type of cigar event to raise money for the Michael Strange Foundation. Okay?
God bless.
God bless. God bless.
God bless.
Can I give you one Trump story real quick?
For sure. Give us a Trump story.
We're taking a picture at the White House. The president's next to my wife. I'm next to the first lady. I said, Mr. President, can I put my arm around your wife? President Trump went like this and smiled. He goes, go for it. I'm telling you, he's the real deal. You gotta love this guy.
Gotta love him. 2020. That's what it's at. That's what it's all about. 2020. Thank you. Thank you. God bless. We're going to put this site up. We're going to put the information up as soon as you log off. All right. Thank you. Take care.
God bless you.
God bless.
Bye.
Bye. Hey everybody, I'm back. This is Daryl McKell Brooks of the On Fire Show. That was Mr. Charles Strange and Mary Strange, a powerful. His wife is with him, and a strong man needs a strong woman. I tell people that all the time. And so the head of the Michael Strange Foundation, the Voices for Silent Hero, he's a Gold Star father, and she's a Gold Star wife, because she's with him in this time of need. She's there. And that's what it's all about. Having a partner there for you and who will stand by you no matter what. And when you're going through the hell of your son being killed, and she's there with him. And she's a blessing. I guarantee you she's a blessing to him. And listen, people, I'm going to put the website up so you give donations, send this out to everybody, okay? We're going to send this out to everybody. As I leave, I'm saying, listen, Martin Luther King said it best. He says that we're all caught up in this great inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. And whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. And that I can never be what I ought to be until you are what you ought to be. And you can never be what you ought to be unless I am what I ought to be. Then he quotes the poet John Donne and says, no man is an island, every man is a piece of the continent, part of the main. Then he goes on to say that any man's death diminishes me because I am involved in mankind. Therefore, never sin to know whom the bell tolls, it tolls for thee. It tolls for thee, That's what it's all about. It tolls for thee. Charles Strange, Mary Ann Strange, all the gold fathers and mothers out there that have lost their child through war. We're all praying for you and supporting you. God bless. This is the On Fire Show. We want you to share this, send this out to everybody. Send it out now. We're going to put the website and all the information. God bless. Peace. I am out. Great show today.